Okay, uh, ladies and gentlemen, uh, we know we are working on an H264 decoder, right? We're writing a decoder here. And so far we are at the point where we are now doing something a little bit very serious. As you can see here, no, okay, I'll check this thing. Now we are passing part of the SPS sequence parameter set, which is called video usability information parameters, right? Video usability information parameters, it's part of the SPS, which has the information that is related to things such as the aspect ratio, the maximum number of frames, information such as the timing and time scales, right? So actually a decoder can be able to decode a video without this information. You can choose to ignore this information, right? For learning purposes, however, I've decided to actually deal with this, because it's not just about writing an encoder for me, but it's also about learning and understanding the whole H264 standard. So far we've done very well. We're getting everything correct, except what we are now working on, which is num units in ticks. We're supposed to be getting 1 here, and that's not what is happening. As you can see that we're getting 768, and this is a crazy number. It's supposed to be 60 from media information, but I don't know why, because all the information that comes before these two parts of VOE parameters, we're getting the correct values. And the methods that we used, actually the descriptors that we use, which we have implemented to actually get these values, is the same descriptors that we use to get the similar values of other syntax elements. So now I'm kind of trying to figure out what could be the problem that causes me to get this wrong. I'm trying to figure it out, because it's weird that I'm getting, for me it's weird that I'm getting this value, these wrong values, when everything that comes before this part of the code is actually correct. And it's not like I'm using a separate a process to actually get these values. It's actually processes that I already have implemented, and everything else that gets its value out of that process, it comes out correct, but when we get here it comes out incorrect. So I'm trying to figure this out, but the point is that now we are working on SPS. You learn every day. When you work with these things, you learn every day. You learn something new. So let's see what exactly is going on. So let's check other things that I've done. So this is the descriptor. This is one of the exponential coulombs descriptor, which is used by the standard. This is how you're going to get some of the values, and the other is U. So this one just takes as its parameter the number of bits that you want to read from the current position, and then you take those bits, you actually convert them, because you return them as a binary. You read them as a binary, which is the method that I have implemented as well to read from this bit stream. I think part of it I've explained already, that here we have a bit list type that is going to help us to be able to read bits from the stream, because .NET does not actually provide a way to read from a stream, like to read 2 bits or 3 bits from the stream. So but .NET does provide a type that is actually .NET does provide a type that allows you to read from bits, but it had some limitations, and that is why we had to extend that type, and we explained that on our previous video. So now read bits, it's actually making use of this bit list type that allows us to read like bits from the stream, and then it returns the string of those binaries that you have read from the stream. So that descriptor, this syntax descriptor, will take those that string of bits coming from read bits and convert and use the two unassigned integer 32 to convert those bits into to an integer. Does that make sense? And then we get the value, and then we return that to the calling method. By the way, this part of the code is actually making use of this descriptor. Let me check it for you. It's making use of this descriptor, and many other parts of this code making use of this descriptor, like this one. You know, this value is correct. I think this one as well. There are many descriptors that comes before. There are actually many syntax elements that comes before this syntax element that make use of this same descriptor where we are getting the correct value. But I don't know why. What I am thinking and looking at, that I need to really to come and look properly, it's the bits, because there might be a problem with the bits. There might be a problem. There's something that probably I need to be doing, need to be ignoring or focusing on that I'm not. But I have to double check with the standard firstly, and look at the meaning of what the number of ticks and all of that, and look at exactly how do you properly pass this thing. I'm working on that. But how do we use these descriptors? Where are they? Okay, this is sequence parameter set. You see, this is where we make use of that descriptor. Here we read from the current position, we read 8-bit. Then after reading 8-bit, we move the position by 8-bit to the next position, and then we convert that 8-bit into an integer, and we assign it here. We got 66 in this case. That's 66, which tells us the profile ID of this file, of the encoded file. So we make use of that descriptor in many parts of this code, and it works just fine, which is why I'm shocked and surprised that it's not working. Even here, you see, here we read 1 bit from the current position, and then we compare if it's 1. We set the this aspect ratio syntax element, and we read, and everything comes out correct up until we get here. This is where we get the problem. This is where we print these binaries, because I want to see how they look like. I wanted to see how they look like. But by the way, this is another method that is described by the standard, which the standard says you just view the next number of bits, like the bit counter number of bits from the current position, and then you view this number of bits. If it's 5, if bit counter is 5, then you're going to view the next 5-bit from the current position. It just views them. You don't move to the next position. You just view them so that you see how they look like. And this could be very important when it comes to when you are searching for things like stat codes. Does that make sense? Yeah, you're searching for start codes and you don't want to read. All you want to do is to just see, okay, how they look like, and then if they are the start code, then you can, okay, I have to start reading, because that's an NLA unit. We'll see when we implement that part of the code. If we have not implemented it, somewhere it's there. I think somewhere it's there. But anyway, we are working on this standard, trying to do an application which is like the media info, but we want something that we can use for what we want to use it. For example, we want to write an application that is going to grab the images out of a video, and then we're going to take those images through an AI so that they are studied by the NI, because we do have a streaming platform. I'm working on a streaming platform. It's already there. It's just that it's not that complete and working, but that's the type of application that I am working on. Cheers.